Howdy friends, music lovers, Wes here checking in with another episode of The Vinyl Survivor. Hope everyone's doing okay, having a great day, great night, whenever it is you're watching this. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Welcome. I hope you are enjoying the channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks to all of you who've been here all along. And so let's go ahead and get into this episode of The Vinyl Survivor. As usual, these are new albums, new albums to my ear, either pulled from the inbox or new purchases, recent purchases. Just sort of give you my thoughts on my first listen to these things, whether I liked them or not, whether there's something I'm going to be keeping in the collection or just wasn't for me. So let's go ahead and get into this batch. First album I have here is from the band Christie. This is their album titled Yellow River, kind of a 70s light rock kind of thing. Kind of a little bit folksy, very much 70s sort of pop rock kind of thing with a little bit of a country vibe. Just a very traditional sort of sound here. The album title, the song Yellow River, was a big hit for them. Gets played on the radio still occasionally. Was one I recognized. Overall, this album was just kind of ho-hum for me. It didn't really do anything for me. Yeah, just, it's not bad, but it's not really my thing. And that is on the Epic Yellow label. I'm not sure of the year on this. I'm thinking it's like 72-ish is when this was released. So yeah, this one is not staying in the collection. Just, if you like 70s rock, pop rock kind of stuff, you'll probably know the song Yellow River. If you like that, you want to hear more stuff like that, check this out. As I said, it's not bad. It just wasn't for me. It's not something I want to listen to again. So Yellow River, Christie Yellow River is not staying in the collection. Next thing I have to talk about is a country record. Don't often do country records here, and especially don't particularly buy male country artists, but just wanted to hear this, and this is Mel Tillis and the Statesiders 24 Greatest Hits. Greatest hits compilation, 2 LP set here, so really good assortment of songs here. And again, this was sort of something that really wasn't for me, something that's not going to be staying in the collection. It's just some very traditional country music. If you like the earlier country stuff, kind of the outlaw country, but Mel Tillis is not necessarily outlaw country. He's more of a mainstream, but still, compared to today's country artists, you could say he's outlaw country, I guess. Very much more traditional country artist here. Good music, and I'm glad I got to hear it, but something I don't necessarily need to hear again. And that's 2 LPs on the MGM label, released in 1977. So there is that. Mel Tillis and the Statesiders, 24 Greatest Hits, another one not staying in the collection. Alright, next thing I have to talk about today is the 4th studio album by Donnie Iris. This is titled Fortune 410 from 1983. Before listening to this, I really didn't know anything about Donnie Iris. I hadn't listened to his stuff before. So I wasn't sure what I was getting into. This cover has very much an 80s look to it. So found that interesting, intriguing, so I thought I would give it a try. This is kind of like rock music with a little bit of a new wave-ish sort of sound to it. Definitely some synthesizer type stuff on here, sort of a little bit of a new wave sound, but also rock and roll. Kind of interesting music. I was really surprised by this. I like this one a lot. This is a gold stamped promo here. I don't know if you can see that. This one comes on the MCA label. So yeah, really interesting sort of 80s rock piece that, embraces the sound of the time, the new wave sort of sound that was popular, and does it well. And I think it definitely sounds dated, but it's done well. It definitely, if you're into the 80s type stuff, check this one out if you haven't already. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. The closing track, Do You Compute, was really cool, and yeah, if you want to check something out, check that one out. So Donnie Iris, Fortune 410, staying in the collection. All right, next thing we got here, switching gears once again, we got a comedy album. This is a comedy album by Woody Allen titled The Nightclub Years, 1964 to 1968. Nice 2 LP set here. Yeah, I'm just not a Woody Allen fan. I enjoyed, this is another one, I was glad I got to hear it. I enjoyed listening to it. But it's not something I would want to revisit. You know, it's kind of like, okay, that was kind of funny, but don't need to hear it again. On the United Artists label, nice 2 LP set, nice long, you know, long monologue-y sort of rambling type comedy that Woody Allen does. So yeah, you know, it was funny. It was fun for a listen once. I picked this up at Goodwill, so you know, I didn't spend much money on it. And it was just a nice sort of something to listen to and laugh a little bit, but not something that I'll be keeping. All right, next thing we have to talk about is another compilation here. This is a compilation from The Byrds titled History of the Byrds. 1973 on this one. This does happen to be a UK import, imported by Gem. Got their Gem sticker on there. But a nice 2 LP set of Byrds songs. You know, you got all the classics here. Tambourine Man, Turn, 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 8 Miles High. Just goes on and on. You know, the gatefold gives a nice sort of timeline of the band. It's really nice. And then we get this nice UK CBS label, which is probably is boring to people in the UK, but it's nice to see here in the US to see that label. I'm guessing this would be on Columbia here in the States. Just that sort of boring red and orange label that I hate so much. So yeah, really nice compilation of Byrds music. You know, absolutely, if you see this for cheap, grab it. It's good to have this rather than trying to collect some of the albums by themselves can be quite expensive. And this is a really nice compilation of their songs here, and a good number of tracks on here, probably 25 or so. And yeah, good stuff. So, History of the Byrds staying in the collection. Okay, next thing we have to talk about here, switching gears once again. We're talking about some 1980s hard rock here. We have the third album from the band Night Rangers, titled 7 Wishes from 1985. Really cool album cover there, like the artwork on that. And there's the back cover there. Yeah, just some good mid-80s hard rock kind of stuff. Something I enjoy listening to from time to time. You know, just sort of nice to hear from time to time. And I actually enjoyed this album quite a bit. I wasn't sure whether I was going to like it or not. I don't always like hard rock stuff, but I guess this is 80s enough for me to sort of be interesting to me with its production style. A photo of the band in there and the lyric sheet. And that one is also on the MCA Rainbow label. So yeah, Night Rangers, 7 Wishes from 1985. Some good, just mid-80s hard rock kind of stuff. Very traditional radio hard rock kind of stuff. But something I like to listen to from time to time, so I'm going to keep this one. I enjoy listening to it. It's a good, solid album from them. So staying in the collection. Okay, next thing we have to talk about, moving back into the 70s here, we have an album by the Amboy Dukes. This is Tooth, Fang, and Claw. Of course, Ted Nugent's band. And again, some good 70s hard rock here. Ted Nugent is a guitar master, excellent stuff. Don't care for his politics, but I can listen to his music and enjoy it. Discreet label, 1974. Yeah, just a good, solid rock album. You know, can't go wrong with Ted Nugent. We want to hear some really good guitar work. definitely enjoyed picking this up. Another one picked up. Most of these are from Goodwill, so really cheap pickup, and I'm glad I did, and definitely will be keeping this one in the collection. All right, next thing we have, staying in the 70s rock sort of genre here, we have the album from Three Dog Night titled Harmony. This one has Old Fashioned Love Song on it, Never Been to Spain, a couple of tracks I recognize on here. It's just a good solid Three Dog Night album. Enjoyed this one quite a bit. There's the back there. And that is on the ABC Dunhill label. Really nice label. And yeah, good solid album through and through. I enjoyed it. This is one you see in the dollar bins all the time. And this is another Goodwill pickup for me. And glad I picked it up, and I'm going to be keeping this one in the collection. So, good one for me. Enjoyed it. All right, next up we have an album by Jennifer Warnes from 1976. This is a self-titled album. This one has Love Hurts on it. And yeah, this one just kind of went over like a lead balloon for me. I don't know what you want to say. It just didn't do anything for me. I see this one all the time. Finally decided to just grab it and see what it sounded like. And yeah, it was a disappointment for me. Didn't care for this album at all. On the Arista sort of black and teal blue sort of label there. Nice. Yeah, just for some reason this just didn't do anything for me. I don't know. Didn't work for me. So that is Jennifer Warnes, self-titled, 1976. Another one not staying in the collection. And last but definitely not least, we have a jazz album here from George Benson. This is The Other Side of Abbey Road on CTI Records. When was this done? 1969 is when this was recorded. I don't know when it was released. Back cover there. Yeah, really cool sort of George Benson covering the Beatles. And George Benson just is an amazing jazz guitar player, and it's really cool to hear these songs in a different light and to hear his take on them, and I really enjoyed this quite a bit. And this is on A&M Records label, but it's also CTI. I'm not sure. I'm guessing this is a later pressing of the album. I kept thinking in '69 this would still be on the actual CTI label. So yeah, it's really cool sort of cover album of Beatles stuff, and I do like Beatles covers for some reason, particularly when people take on an entire album. I like it for some reason. You've heard the Beatles album so many times. It's really nice to hear them in a fresh light from time to time, and to whether it's the Flaming Lips or George Benson or Booker T and the MGs, I just really love Beatles cover albums when people take on the full album. So that's really cool. This is really cool. I'm glad to be keeping this in the collection. So thank you for watching this episode of The Vinyl Survivor. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me some comments down below or questions if you have any. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Helps out a great deal. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you again next time. Have a great day. Cheers.